We love the Hackverse.
Hacka.
Oh, fuck. That's it's the Zumock.
Shuli, you're still muted.
Welcome to the show, the Bunch. Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, I mean, all right, shut that horrible comment off. Welcome, chat. Look at this. I mean,
Here we are, everybody. How are you?
We're doing
it.
talk about John's worst nightmare. Look at this screen. Oh my God.
Dude, that video was fucking hilarious. Holy shit. The $4,000
Oh, here's what's great about that video is it showed you the real John. Okay, the real John, which is and Chad, correct me if I'm wrong. By the way, thank you for coming on. We'll get into the whole story of getting in cahoots with Chad. But believe it or not, it had nothing to do with John. That just happened organically. But John, you and John had done a couple shows already. And John had you'd paid him for both shows. What was the amount total that you paid John?
Total $1,300.
Okay, so that's what John got from him. All right, so now John plans to do this show, Hypocrisy Police, the first episode, right?
Yeah.
And look at this, John Spittle. All right, and
Hypocrisy Police. Da, 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 da.
Can I just say, visit hypocrisypolice.com, please.
Yes, please. That's very nice of you to promote that. That's very nice.
Yeah.
Guys, go to hypocrisypolice.com and then put it up. I want to see what's on it.
Oh my God. What do you think John's doing right now?
Whatever it is.
Like every other day.
Yeah. My guess is he's punched something that needs to be replaced or fixed. That's my guess.
That's right. I am gonna die soon because I'm laughing my fucking ass off.
So Chad pays $1,300. Oh my God, they're all coming out. I love you guys. Thank you. So now John wants to do this show, his first show, and he hits Chad up and he says, "You're my first guest." Now, Carl, I think you would agree. He's pushing, and there's no offense to you, Chad, but at this point, nobody else is picking up the phone, I don't think, right? And he's got to get somebody on because God forbid he does a show by himself, right?
Well, that's the thing. What's that?
Chad even said on Opie's show, he goes, I told John I'll go on a show, but like get a few under your belt. We don't have to keep doing these shows together. I'll come out as a guest eventually. But John just insisted you had to be the first guest on his show.
Yes. So Chad, after now you said John reaches out quite a bit. Is that correct? I mean, he texts and calls quite a bit.
I think I used the word exhausting.
Yeah.
Which you use for a chick. You use that.
You
for a
did
chick.
say something to him after he kept hitting you up, and you realized that he was being a pain in the ass. What did you tell him he was like?
I said, "Quit being a chick," and he said he called me. So I picked it up. I go, "What, John?" And a friend just died. A friend of mine just died that day, and I'm dealing with that. And he's like, "Don't ever call me a chick again. Don't you ever do that." I go, "Dude, I'm dealing with a death right now." He's like, "I don't care. You don't call me a chick." And towards the end of the conversation, he's like, "I'm really sorry about your friend."
Yeah.
Wow, Mr. Progressive is bothered by that. That's weird. But okay, so he's back and forth. He's telling you got to do the show. You got to do the show. So you say in a very nice way, I thought you said, "Any chance you could throw me a couple bucks for doing the show?" And what did John say when you said that?
Nothing. No response. Nothing. No.
Does not compute. Does not compute.
And all of a sudden he stops texting. All of a sudden he's not a chick anymore.
Warning!
Right?
Warning! Somebody wants money. Warning!
Yeah.
So,
Abort.
So Chad is now like now. We had talked a little bit before any of this happened. I reached out to Chad to talk to him just on a personal level to get him and Levy together and to squash some shit, which they did. And right after that, John starts putting this full court press on. And even at that point, we weren't planning to, sabotage his interview with Chad or even, first of all, he promoted it 3 different times and canceled all 3 times. So we didn't think the show was going to happen. We just knew Chad was going to be on. And you do you go on there and you fucking don't worry about us. And
Yeah, come at me and Shuli, no problem. Let's go.
Right.
I had every intention of getting out of the John business after the second show because of the money stuff, and it was just like, okay, we did what we had to do. And then he was so persistent and consistent about me being the first guest. I was like, all right, I'll do that show, and then I'm done with John. We're out. It's over.
Yeah. Yeah. And so and thank you very much, Sean H. Whoever I think that was that gifted 10. Thank you, buddy. So now John and Chad are confirmed for doing this show, and we're all free. We want to watch this train wreck. So we go on StreamYard and we record us watching this. And as we're watching, I think it was Bob was the first one. It was just like, tell him to rub his eyes, like something's in his eye. And he did it. We're like, okay, from this point on, this is the game now. This is what we're. Thank you, Roy Ray, for gifting 10. And we go and we start with questions, and then Iso came up with the Venmo, and that was the best because now the guy who wouldn't return Chad's text about throw me a little bit of money is sitting here going, hey, cut me in on that. Where's my vig?
Where's my vig?
Well,
Fuck you.
Yeah, he's got no problem asking for it. He's got a problem giving it, though.
Shuli, let me back up a little bit there because there's one more story. Because that day, that Friday, we were going to go at 1. He calls me. He's like, YouTube's it's not monetized anymore. I can't get super chats. And I'm like, oh, that sucks. And he goes, let's just use your channel. We'll use your channel, and you could we'll split it. We'll just split the money. I was going to give you money anyway, but he only said that because he needed my channel.
Right.
What a nightmare. What a nightmare. And once we saw Chad was playing ball, that was it. We were just that we have 3 hours. We have the whole 3 hours recorded that we're going to drop tomorrow behind the wall. So yeah, I mean, definitely check that out. Yeah. Chad, you were phenomenal. I mean, even Carl was ranting and raving about you, which I've never heard him do. Carl?
I played it on the show today. And even before I knew what was going on behind the scenes, I was very impressed with the way you were trolling John. Because as soon as John thinks he has a friend, he's blind to that sort of thing.
Right.
It's so bizarre how he's just like, no, but he's my friend. Chad's a good guy. People were actually chanting him and going, I think Chad's trolling you. He's like, no, Chad's one of the good ones.
I got to ask you, Chad, are you afraid the wrath of John now is upon you, as it has been all of us?
I gotta see that again. Hold on, put that back up. I gotta see that again.
It was you all the time.
All right.
So
it's a good question. How nervous are you?
I mean, I know I'm the guy now. I'm the guy he's coming for, and I have to be prepared for it. I know a lot of people are being mad. They're saying I'm selling out. I'm like, no, you don't understand. This guy is impossible to deal with. So I knew I'm just going to have to burn this bridge completely.
That's coming from Chad saying, all right.
So
yeah, it's a good question. How nervous are you?
I mean, I know I'm the guy now. I'm the guy he's coming for, and I have to be prepared for it. I know a lot of people are being mad. They're saying I'm selling out. I'm like, no, you don't understand. This guy is impossible to deal with. So I knew I'm just going to have to burn this bridge completely.
That's coming from Chad saying,
I know.
I told you, Chad. Listen to me.
That's what most people who know John say. They just don't say it to his face.
Yeah, and I mean, this John, understand that everybody you talk to is ready to talk to somebody else. Like there is nobody safe. You trust no one, John. Trust no one. They're all coming
this
to
ain't
me.
The last.
No,
we didn't stop after this.
I had to move a big guest to bring Chad in to deal with this first. Like they're circling the runway, man. I can't stop them. And I'm not asking for it. It's your actions that's leading them here. It's the way you treat people.
Yeah, people wouldn't normally just go, "Oh yeah, I'm into fucking with John."
Right.
If John was such a nice guy, if he was ethical, if he was just, a guy that you want to hang out with, he's narcissistic and he's just so gimme and nothing in return.
Relationships are only one way in John's world.
Yes.
What can you do for me?
Exactly.
And that's it.
John's
one of the I'm sorry, one of the beautiful. Thank you, John Spittle. 50 memberships.
50 memberships. Thank you.
Good
Go ahead.
gravy, Marie.
Wow.
One of the beautiful things about with Chad was in the beginning, John kept espousing how rich he is and how much money he has.
Yes.
And as those Venmos for Chad and Kenny came in, you could just see how fucking much he needs money.
The look in his face was amazing.
And compliments and kudos go to your buddy Tony Mazer, who jumped on the stream as well. And we started sending Tony Mazer the Venmos, and he's one of my. I mean, there's a couple of favorite. We should just put together a photo gallery of all the Venmos that we made. But one of my favorites was a $200 super chat to you, Chad, and it said, "Welcome back, John. Here you go, Chad."
No, one of the best was somebody gave $200 to Mazer and said, "Ask John what it was like working with Howard." And John goes, "I'm not answering that. Send me the $200. Then I'll answer." Meanwhile, John's getting 18 cents. He got 20
Somebody wrote Swerve of the Year. This is the
Swerve of the year. Yes, Rich Goldman.
NWO.
That's right. We told you we weren't bullshitting you guys. This is going to be massive. This is what happens. People unite under the umbrella of goofing on John. It never fails. He brings people together. That I can agree.
Always revolved around John. So all the peripheral things might happen, but when push comes to shove and everyone must unite, it is under the flag of fuck John Melendez.
Yeah.
It really is. We have a ton of super chats we got to get to. Let's get to them.
Listen, did FDR like Stalin? No.
No.
Right.
They work.
Hey, Shuli, before you get to the super chats, 3 things I want to bring up. One for Carl. I realized 2 minutes into that show when I was off screen and watching him backstage, I go, this is going to be a fucking train wreck, because he was bitching about, I was like, I have to fuck with this guy, because it was just, he was a mess. He was talking about Bob and
what was he bitching
going in on Bob about being I don't know what he was talking about, but I was like, I got to say something. The second thing is, as soon as the show was over, we were backstage, he started talking about the super chats. Like, he's like, you're not going to give me some of that? Like 30% at least? I mean, I gave you a platform. And I had to quickly tell him, I go, listen, dude, we were joking. It was my buddy. I'm because I didn't want to have to give him money because he thought it was real.
We sent that Venmo with the total. Like we said, we got to send Chad a total to hold up and just watch John's world crumble, and he held it up like once, and John missed it, and then he didn't do it again, and then we're texting, we're like, do it again, hold it up again, and he's holding it up again, and then when John saw it, and he just goes, "Are you kidding me?" That is John Melendez. That face, that sentence, that tone, that's him. That's that guy.
And I was scared of him. That's why I was scared how he was going to react to it, because he was getting angrier and angrier. And I was just like, oh, this guy's going to lose it.
What was your thought? And we'll get to it.
Well, he was drinking a lot of orange juice.
He was, yes. What was your thought when, and we'll get to it in this package, but what was your thought when he had a giant booger on his
my
face?
God.
Oh no!
I go.
Have you seen this, Anthony? Have you seen any of this?
No,
dude. I seen it, but I didn't think I seen it. I go, is that something hanging from his nose? And I go, nah, it's not. And then somebody goes, oh.
So does Bob. Bob has a snot phobia too.
Oh, it's the worst fucking thing.
Yeah. We play him snot video clips on BS in the morning and make him
so bad, I can't fucking deal.
Yeah,
it's unbelievable. We'll do one later.
Yeah. Yeah. What was your thoughts when you saw that happen? Because he had a few. Yeah,
much like Bob, I caught it early, and I just didn't want to say a goddamn thing. And finally, he realized that. I'm like, all right, there you go, Carl. Here's an episode for you.
What was great about it is he tried to slip it back into his nose when he finally saw it on the screen. He's like, "Oh God, it's all the way to his lip."
Yeah.
So then he's not realizing he's not looking in a mirror. So he went to get it, but he went the wrong way. He went on the wrong side of his face.
Yeah.
And all he did was like bring it up and show you how big it was.
Dude,
like he was doing to his hair the whole time. He was trying to get that flip, and he kept going the wrong way.
Oh my God.
This is the greatest episode Stuttering John's ever done, Chad. This was the greatest thing. I did, I think, 45 minutes on it, but I only covered like 15 minutes of the show today because there's just too much.
I mean, I am so looking forward to the future because this is it. This is
right.
Joe, I want to gift the 3 hours of us watching this to Carl for his Patreon.
Yeah.
Please get that to him.
Thank you so much. That's awesome.
No, please. I want to Tim Sabian. Shout out to Tim Sabian shooting the text saying this is hysterical. Animal House level prank. I mean, come on. What are we talking about here?
And the thing was, it was never planned. I didn't go into John's show going, I'm going to fuck with him. I didn't. And it just became that. And then you guys jumped in. I'm like, all right, this is it. And
this was all in the moment, which made it so much more enjoyable and so much more fun.
What's so brilliant about it is you guys are sniping him, but you're not doing it live. So this is all happening. And John's getting word that you guys were sniping, and Chad's going, oh, let me check. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I don't see it. Maybe they just stopped. I don't know what's going on right now. He was so paranoid. Meanwhile, the worst thing that could have happened to his worst nightmare was happening the entire time.
And we were all
you watch it, you're gonna be dying when you watch us watch it.
Wait.
Yeah, and we were all so excited. It was like a class trip, you know. It's like, oh my god, we're gonna go watch because we hadn't planned it ahead of time. It was like, let's do it.
The first thing when Chad rubs his eyes, we all just go, hey! We're like, yeah. All right, super chats. We got the Z-Man. He crushed it.
Hey guys, I just got a Venmo for $1,500.
Oh man!
Wow, get out!
Hey, come on! Hey, Chad, let me wet my beak a little bit over here. Come on! What are we doing?
That's 6 ways.
Yeah, wet my beak.
I mean, it is Shuli's platform. I gotta give him something.
Dr. Cream Jeans 99 for John's Black Market Hebrew tutor. Thank you very much, Dr. Cream Jeans. Just kidding. Love you guys. Thank you, Justin. This is better than the Super Bowl. Let's go, boys. This is for your $100 tier. Thank you, Nasty Al.
Thank you, Nasty Al. Appreciate it, buddy.
Is this the new GoFundMe scam? Yes, Deadpool. Thank you. Deadpool, he shouldn't talk in bed. He'll drown in spittle. I like these super chats. We're catching up to when the reveal. This is
somebody in the Teddy Baker said, Disco Bob must be sad.
At 41 minutes of Stut Joe's last stream, John mangled the common quote saying, I really like Brennan. He's got his head on his shoulders.
He does.
I owe Susanna. So he woke up, set up the camera, got back in bed so lazy. He thinks this is real. Yes, exactly. When John lost all his poker money at Anthony's, did he blame it on everyone else? I'm sure he did.
Yeah, as I recall.
Why would he take responsibility at this point in life?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Why does he have the blanket pulled up like he's a woman on a sitcom pretending to be topless?
Because if they saw those tits, he would get a stroke.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. Will Jenkins, thank you for the $10, buddy. Shuli, you are just jelly that KB got the Tonight Show announcer for his network. You guilty. John's self-awareness. Guilty. This is the single greatest moment in the history of the internet.
It
Genius.
is.
Big B, thank you. Thank
Agreed.
you. Huge face turn for Chad.
Yes.
Speechless. Thank you, Nick. Thank you. Z-Man having it. That's right. Sweaty, try hard. Murderers Row. Let's go. $10. Chad, best heel turn since Hogan.
Play the NWO thing.
We were talking about that today. We were going to have the audio of Bobby the Brain going, Hogan's the third man. Right. Brilliant. Brooks Robinson, purely brilliant. Thank you, Brooks. Chad, I'm sorry I ever doubted you. Uncle Jack, you crushed him. Frank, look out. I don't know. Try that one. Bob.
Murderers had to edit row of the Shuli network. Love it. Please do this more frequently.
God damn, I thought you were going to mess that up. That's why I gave it to you. I
what
feel
are
like
you
I
kidding?
just watched Scott Hall just showed up on Nitro again. Thank you, Weezy. Chad Zumock, I apologize for the horrible things I may have said about you. Tiff, $50. I just made a full recovery. That was an amazing job. $10, Chad's liver. Painkiller, $10. Well done, boys. That was hilarious. It all came together in my head, and I was like, boom. Kevin's gonna melt down. John hates Chad now, and I hate him a little less. John Melendez is a literal joke. Painkiller. Thank you. Go 3 hours. Oh, believe me, we knew this was going to be a long.
And can anybody, if they have if they're still on John's Twitter, see if he's
who's that talking?
Responding.
It's Mike Morris. He does.
I never knew his name.
How much crap are you going to get on MLC tomorrow, Bob?
Well, for what? For what?
What for what? For orchestrating the greatest prank in the history of pranks?
Are you kidding me? Come on.
Kevin's a fan of comedy. He's got to appreciate this.
He didn't tell me. I had to find out about fucking John going on tomorrow. Well, look, we do our thing and don't worry about it.
Exactly. $200. Thank you, guys. John learned nothing from his break. He got even worse. Clearly, he's been watching and taking notes. F him and his Captain Crunch haircut. Oh, no. Reels, $50. Z-Man, we speak your name.
Yes.
Thank you for sharing the mess that is John. Brian, $20. Thank you, Brian.
He's the grift that keeps on giving.
Wow.
Yeah, somebody said he's definitely on the phone with Brendan right off the bat. And right now, Brendan's like, I don't want to fucking hear this shit. You know what I mean?
Get ready. Get ready, Kevin. You got to be hands-on the rest of your time now that you're on Team John. And Anthony, I love that you didn't see any of this show with Chad. Because we're about to dive into this.
Oh my God!
I've been out of the Splitsville business for a little while, but again, they pull you back in, and it's just hilarious how John just starting his big comeback and feeling so good about it, and so early on he just gets creamed, and that is perfect. It couldn't happen more perfectly than that.
And the bigger news,
he's just going to be looking over his shoulder the entire time. Guaranteed, he doesn't even trust Brennan. Like he's probably thinking, "How is Brennan screwing me by doing this?"
He shouldn't.
Maybe he shouldn't. Watch out for your intro guy, Chris. That's all.
And even bigger news, Anthony. We're all moving to South Carolina.
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about.